Okay, so this is our Bookwalter retractor. We're going to talk about what the various pieces are called, how to count it, how to organize the basket, and then also how to attach it to the bed for use during a procedure. So our various pieces that we have laying out here, this is called our coupling or our post coupling, and it's what we will attach to the table post to attach either the horizontal bar or the flex horizontal bar that will be utilized to hold the ring. So we have our coupling. We have the table post, which is the piece that will attach to the side of the OR bed, and then has this piece at the top that will tighten that down. So we'll take this and then place the coupling on top of this that will allow us to then be able to place the horizontal bar through that will then go over the patient and then attach to the ring that goes over the abdomen. So this piece is called the horizontal bar. Now, some surgeons may choose to use what we call as the flex horizontal bar, which is just another version of the horizontal bar, except it's got this angle in it as well. That can give us various different angles for placement of the ring. Okay, so we have our table post, our coupling, our horizontal bar, and our tilt horizontal bar. Those are your large pieces that will come in the tray. Then inside the tray, we have our oval ring. Now another version of the oval ring is what we call as the segmented ring. So if we chose to use this, it would be placed together. It has 6 various pieces here that go together. And then there's going to be screws that would then get placed here that would then hold those pieces together. So we could choose to use that in the various different segments as an option instead of using the oval ring that's all placed together. When it comes sterilized in your pan, everything should be taken apart. The screws should be taken apart, and we do want to count those separately because they do come out and they are removable and could potentially be lost. So we have our oval ring and we have our segmented ring, which will have those 6 different pieces and then 4 screws that go with it as well. Then we have our mechanisms that attach our blades to either the segmented ring or the oval ring. These are called our ratchet mechanism. You can see that they will allow a blade to be attached here, and then that would feed onto the oval ring. Or we can use what is called a tilt ratchet mechanism. Okay? This one will allow us the ability to basically toe in the retractor. So it has another ratchet here that will allow us to have varying degrees of angles of where that retractor is placed. Where on this basic ratchet mechanism, it's just going to go in at a right angle, and we're not going to be able to adjust that varying angle. Most people, when they organize the pan, will put all the like retractor types together and then hang their ratchet mechanisms off the side. You want to make sure that you have everything disassembled before it's counted so you don't forget to count something. And then also make sure that you have the heavy portion of the ratchet to the inside of the pan so it doesn't get knocked off and fall onto the floor. Inside the pan, then we also have the various different types of retractor blades. So we're gonna have a Balfour retractor blade, which looks just like the bladder blade on a Balfour retractor. We have a Gelpi retractor blade, which looks like the pointed tip of a Gelpi. We have what are referred to as Kelly, or they do look like Richardson as well, right angle retractor blades, and they come in various different widths and lengths as well to be utilized depending on the size of your patient. We then also have a Harrington, which looks like that sweetheart shape at the end. And then we have our malleable or our ribbon retractor blades, which can be bent however the surgeon needs. They again come in various different widths, just like the regular malleable retractors do. So when you're organizing the pan, you want to make sure you have everything laid out so that it can easily be seen by you and the circulating nurse. When we count it, we're just going to count it in a total number of pieces. So you want to have everything disassembled. I know earlier I was showing you how these pieces fit together, but before I start to count it, I want to make sure I have everything disassembled so I don't forget to count any of the pieces. So if I was ready to count, I would ask my circulating nurse to come on over, and then they're going to count out loud with me as we count each of the pieces. So we would have our Bookwalter retractor. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have one that fell off here. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 pieces. Making sure that I separate each of those items as it's being counted so that it can be visualized by myself and also the unsterile person that's counting with me. Okay, when we go to attach the Bookwalter to the bed, we're going to take the post. Okay. Now remember, of course, you're going to be wearing a gown and gloves when you're doing this. I'm not right now. But when we attach this to the bed, we never want to be touching down here below the sterile level. Remember that the bed is only sterile to table level. So we want to make sure that we're not reaching below where we're going to get contaminated. So this piece, you're going to find the rail on the side of the bed. This is going to attach on here. And then you're going to take this piece, lift up, and then righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So we're going to start to tighten this piece down onto the side of the bed. Now you got to make sure that you don't get in one of those cutout sections, which I think I am. So that it actually sits on that rail. It's very helpful if you have two people doing this so that you can have multiple hands on deck as you're doing this. Then we need our coupling device that's going to fit over the top. And then you'll choose either the flex horizontal bar or the horizontal bar. We're just going to use the regular horizontal bar to come across. And then this piece will tighten down. Then you would choose to use either your oval ring or your segmented ring. Okay, so we're just going to use our regular oval ring here. Now it looks like I need to back up here with my horizontal bar so that it's going to be positioned over the patient's abdomen in the center to give us the retraction that we need. Okay, once you get that tight, then this piece on the back of the horizontal bar is going to tighten down to hold that ring in place. And then we're just going to go ahead and pick a blade. I just want you guys to have the opportunity of how to load the blades on. So we'll go ahead and pick a tilt ratchet mechanism. Remember, that gives us the ability to change the angle of the blade. When we attach the ratchet mechanism to the blade, you want to make sure that the opening is towards the front in the same direction where the blade's going to be, and then the blade feeds in. Because when we go to put it on the ring, it's going to feed from this direction so that it hangs on the ring, and then we could change the varying different angles of the towing in or the depth of where it's going to be placed. So the surgeon will be the guide of, you know, where those blades are going to be placed around the outside, but just so that you understand how that ratchet mechanism needs to be loaded so that the blades can be attached to the ring itself.